Sir, ako, yes po, lagay ko lang po, sir.
Salamat. Thank you. Thank you. Nice place. Oh, amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Is this... Oh, pwede. Thank you po. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys are acting really strange. Thank you. Well, ensaymada. Perfect. Salamat. This is too much, guys. There's so much happening. Oh, whoa.
Vegetables. In the morning, very good.
This is great. You guys are a great team. Thank you. Seeded. Eggplant. Hey! Kumusta? Your team is amazing. They're so nice. They're so nice and
May mic ka
friendly.
na pala.
Oh, meron na.
Paki-mic nga rin ako. Ha? Oh, kapit mo. Thank you, Kape, wala ba akong kape?
Sa taas, magtimpla ka.
You can have some of mine.
Sir, that's yours.
Okay.
Tinapay. Breakfast.
Gusto mo din?
Oo.
Bili ka, andun, sa labas.
Pagka pogi, ganyan kayo.
Grabe kayo.
Grabe kayo. Okay na nga to. De, mga inaanak, syempre, andito sa kusina ng ninong nyo, pare. Erwan Heusaff, diba? Minsan lang magkaroon ng gwapo dito. Teka lang, ba't nakapatay yung main light natin? Ayan.
Now I'm glowing. Finally.
After a very long time. Nandito na rin si Erwan at syempre, ang gagawin natin sa back of the house. Ang dami nagtatanong, ano ibig sabihin ng BOH? Back of the house po ang ibig sabihin nun. Kasi tayo ay magluluto, tapos magkukwentuhan para malaman natin ang mga sikreto ni Erwan Heusaff. Specifically kung magkano kinikita niya buwan-buwan. Yun yung gusto kong malaman talaga, di ba? Tinanong ko siya, nag-enjoy ka ba sa pagtutumbong natin?
I loved it.
Ako rin naman, nag-enjoy. Pala ko sana magtumbong ngayon. Kaso, nagpapaitan kami kahapon, baka di na ako magising bukas. Mahirap na. So, tinanong ko siya, ano ba ang gusto mong kainin? And sinabi mo ay?
Beef sinigang.
Beef sinigang,
Yes.
'di ba? Ang beef sinigang, pagdating sa Filipino cuisine, medyo rare yan. Hindi na masyadong ginagawa kasi it's either pork or seafood. Hindi 'yun ang gagawin natin. George, kunin mo nga yung beef natin.
Ayun, lapit oh.
Kunin mo na! Tapos na yung ano! Tapos na! Kunin mo na!
Oy, gising!
Naknan to! Oy! Oy!
Tanga! Bugok ka!
Familiar sa'yo yan, yung beef na yan?
Oy, Bolzico beef.
Yes!
Argentinian, I can tell.
Yes, syempre. Kukuha pa tayo ng karne sa iba. Diba? So ngayon, usually kasi kapag ako ay may bisita, ako yung nagluluto sa kanila, nasan dyan lang sila pangiti-ngiti, abot-abot, ganyan. Pero dahil lang dito ka, tutulungan mo ako. Ito yung idea ko. Meron tayong magandang klase na beef dito. Niluluto natin na parang steak. Okay? Tapos, ito yung mga gulay natin na hindi ko pa talaga sure kung paano natin gagamitin. Pero, meron ako ditong super concentrated na beef broth, beef stock. Kahapon pa namin ginawa. Kung paano namin ginawa yan? Ganto. Papasok yan. Blag. So sa beef sinigang, actually at this point, hindi pa ako sure kung paano siya gagawin talaga. Ang alam ko lang, gagamit tayo ng karne ni Erwan na on the way na ngayon. Tapos gusto ko, yung pinaka-stock niya, sobrang rich. So eto gagamitin natin ngayon. Beef bones, pare. Kasi i-roast natin yan. Meron tayong carrots dito. Lagay mo lang dyan. Tapos celery. Sibuyas. Tapos, tomato paste. Yung tomato paste, medyo itago natin ng konti. Kasi nasusunog yan eh. Dito sa oven, 180 degrees Celsius. Sa hanggang mag-brown siya. Tapos pansin nyo, hindi ko lang na-mention, no? Yung tray natin kanina may parchment paper sa ilalim. Para yan walang manikit. Tapos yung mga masusunog-sunog doon sa ilalim, makakayod natin, malalagay natin doon sa sabaw natin. So, eto na siya. At napakabango niya. Bango. Lagay na natin yan dito sa tubig. Iyan. So ngayon, pakukuluan namin to. Medyo matagal. 4 na oras. So itutuloy namin bukas yan. Kasi gusto ko talaga yung kuhang-kuha mo yung lasa ng buto eh. Para kay Erwan, ang lasa ng buto, ibibigay ko talaga sa kanya.
Sir, buto po.
Oo nga, ano ba sabi ko?
Buto.
Buto. Halika tayo.
That's not how you blow. Is that how you blow?
Ano tingin mo ang gagawin natin dito? Kasi basically, meron tayong beef stock dito na pwede pa natin i-reduce para maging demi-glace. At meron tayo ditong cooked sampalok. Oo. Meron din kaming batuan dyan na preserved, pero sinigang eh. Magiging kansi yon kapag batuan ang ginamit natin. So sige, pag-usapan natin, ano gusto mong gawin dito?
So the idea was parang to still keep it as a soup. The idea why I said beef sinigang is very particular. Kasi I believe there are 2 dishes in the Philippines, snapshots and screenshots of where they're being made. Kinilaw and sinigang.
Okay.
So when we talk about Filipino food in general, we tend to forget that changes per household.
Of course.
And that changes based on where that household is. Anong barangay, anong municipality, what
Tama.
province.
Tama.
And I think sinigang and kinilaw are not spoken enough in that respect. Kasi in any province you go, your sinigang vegetables and your pampaasim will be very different.
Tama.
When I said beef sinigang, it's reflective of how I like to eat it.
Okay.
So parang si Ipoy.
Canned tomatoes.
Canned tomatoes.
Na tinry namin.
Which is
Masarap
pretty
na.
good.
Okay
yeah.
siya, okay
So
siya.
eventually that's gonna become a thing. When you cook ribeye, you always wanted to get it to parang medium rare. So the idea is usually with steak, the more fat you have, the more you want to cook it down so that the flavor of the fat can melt. So definitely we're not gonna boil this.
Of course,
Right?
of
So
course.
we'll cook this as a steak.
Okay.
So I think we go classical sinigang soup base.
Okay.
So we'll use mostly
Sampalok.
a mix of this and this, and then we'll thin that out, poach the vegetables in there, and then we'll cook the steak and then add it last minute.
Okay,
And that
sige.
works, yeah.
So, soup pa rin to.
Soup pa rin. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, soup pa rin.
Okay, okay.
I mean, this is a curveball.
Yeah.
When he invited
Hindi
me,
niya alam to.
when he invited me, I really thought he was gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna cook and I'm just gonna,
No, no.
I'm just gonna be here and answer questions."
Sayang eh. Sayang eh. Andito na eh. Napakalupit magluto nito eh, di ba? So, pogi. Oo. So,
Ang galing talaga na idea ni Erwan.
So, eto kasi, lulutuin lang yan eh. Ganon-ganon lang yan. So, mag-focus muna tayo siguro sa soup habang piniprep nila yung vegetables. Extract muna natin to. Konti na lang yung sabaw niya. Ito talaga yung magpapa-extend sa kanya.
Yes.
Tama? Oo.
Yeah.
Maasim na ba?
Yes.
O
Yeah, it's
gusto
super
mong
maasim. No, it's
squish pa
good. It's
natin?
really good.
Gusto mo ba may fat?
Fat?
Kasi,
This is
ba't kayo
literally-
tumatawa?
This is literally 100% fat.
Nagtatanong lang ako. Meron kaming fat separator dyan. Oo, para dun sa, ano natin. Tanggalin natin. Tanggalin.
I feel like how it is, that with the will emulsify easy.
Sasamahin natin yung dalawa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we can whisk it in and then
Sige,
it'll
sige.
emulsify.
Nasasaktan na ako, ha? Nasasaktan na ako.
Iiyak na yan. Iiyak na yan.
Ang taas din kasi ng gelatin niya, eh, no?
You know what they do in Chicago sa kasama? Sinigang beurre blanc.
Paano yun?
Yung beurre blanc yung white wine tapos butter emulsified with
Oo.
French sauce.
Beurre blanc, as I would say it. Pero,
Beurre blanc.
pero the proper is bobong.
Beurre blanc.
Yung French na.
Vas-y, dis-moi en français. Comment elle s'appelle la sauce encore?
Beurre blanc.
Très bien! Hey, that was good! That was really good!
Paborito mo. Konti lang.
Umpete po. Can you say umpete po?
Un petit peu.
Nung college ako, sa klase ko, nagpe-French. French class.
Ah, really?
Ako, kinuha ko Spanish eh.
Oh.
So sabi niya, may natutunan ako. Sabi niya, umpete po. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Konti lang. Sabi niya. Tawa kami ng tawa. Nung isang beses meron kayong story with your daughter. Sabi mo, umpete po. Bin! Sinabi niya! Sinabi niya! Umpete po!
Legit!
Patis, of course.
Oh, patis, yeah.
Oh, konti lang. Asim pa, asim. Sinigang nga eh, di ba? Gusto mo, tingin mo, hindi natin kailangan ng added starch dyan, like
No.
yung gabi?
Yung gabi, yeah.
You want o wag na?
We can grade it in, I think. Yeah. Oh, you guys are
Oh,
fast.
wow! Oo, nagulat din ako.
This is, if anyone from my team is watching, they treat their boss like shit, but they
Pero
cook really
mabilis.
quick.
Yan. So, microplane yung ginamit natin
Yan.
dito.
Parang yung, what's the Japanese equivalent? Yung mga yama-imo? They do this technique also.
Ay, nakita ko to para sa okonomiyaki.
Oo,
Oo, tama. Ayan. Agad-agad, no?
Stick. Wow.
Oh!
Je ne sais quoi.
Bolobo ko siya, abeswa. Seswa. Oh, so goods ka na
I think
dyan.
that's good, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's
Ihuli natin yung beef, no? Kasi
Vegetables
kailangang
muna.
i-rest eh.
Yeah.
Ah.
May interesting bagong research sa resting ng beef.
Ano?
Sabi nila, it doesn't make any difference.
Talaga?
Yeah, they did a whole test. Parang they're saying myths that chefs tell each other.
Okay.
Pero in practice,
Okay. Actually, magandang gawin yan, no? Titingnan mo yung weight
Resting
loss.
times. Oh, yeah.
Weight loss and testing time. Pwede mong resting time.
yeah. Sorry sa mga prep yung I'll just...
Sige lang,
I'll
sige
do this
lang.
na lang eh.
Oo. Kaya meron kayong maraming gulay na lulutuin sa isang tubig. Unahin nyo lagi yung labanos, please. Kasi nagiging green yan. Pag nag-leach out na yung chlorophyll dun sa tubig.
Pasikat ang
Naging green siya.
Wow, may chlorophyll dito.
Grade 2, pare! O, lagay na natin yan kasi pa kumukulo. Dati, hirap na hirap tayo sa yelo. Pag nandiyan si Erwan, ang daming yelo natin. Anong gusto mong cooking vessel para sa ano mo?
Yung
sa,
steak?
Sa steak mo. Cast iron or carbon steel?
Carbon steel.
Carbon steel is the best. Carbon steel is the best!
Cast iron's too high maintenance.
Yes.
I think I believe that.
Easier to clean, parang... I love carbon steel.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Isa ka pa! Isa ka pa! Yan. Tapos, this one, lalagyan na natin ng alkaline.
You have olive oil?
Olive oil, yes! You want extra virgin or medyo virgin?
Extra virgin. How do you like it?
I like you. Ay, sorry! Tatanong ni Erwan kung okay lang daw ba mag-apoy-apoy dito.
Okay lang yan. Okay na. Okay na namin yan. May parang singgitan.
Tapos... Pag si Erwan kumakamay, ang galing. Pag ako, sa laula.
Hindi, tsaka napansin ko lang, nanonood sa Erwan, si JJ bumaba.
4 na linggo nang hindi bumababa ng opisina yan.
Welcome. This is called sunlight.
Shock lang natin
Yan.
para matigil yung cooking process. Ang
Yeah,
hirap-
I like your
hirap
guys.
siya.
They're nice, huh?
They are.
Kung gusto nyong trabaho,
Wala mga service team.
Hi! For the vlog lang! What's this?
kangkong.
Kangkong.
We are very sorry to the wife of Mr. Erwan Heusaff. Your husband is very handsome.
Yes. And like Coco Martin said, mas yummy.
Mas yummy!
Yes.
That's a
good
goat.
yun, mas yummy. Sa beef natin, instead of using salt, would you be okay with using patis?
But this, yeah. So we put a sheen and then we pat it dry.
Okay. Ang ganda ng talong mo, sir.
Salamat. Manit pa to.
Patis. Hop. Yan. Tapos tissue.
Tissue.
Tapos oil ka.
Yes.
Magbabutter ka ba mamaya?
We don't need to.
Okay. You tell me if tama na, ha?
So, yeah. I mean, so this is the Argentinian, so it's not as fatty naman. So it doesn't render out as much.
Yeah, we don't like fatty.
Yeah. When you cook your steak, how do you cook it? You flip, or...
Isa muna, medyo matagal to form the crust. Tapos, pag na-form na yung crust na gusto ko, flip it again. Tapos kapag kulang pa siya. Pero I'm not the best at cooking steak.
So yung Heston method is you flip every 1 minute, 1 minute 30.
Pero will it work sa, for example, sa stainless pan? Kasi pag sa stainless pan, I think you need to form the crust muna eh.
No, 100%, it will work. I mean, so you mean in terms of it making
Sticking, yeah.
sticking? Usually a minute, 90 seconds, it'll start releasing na.
Okay.
But then when you turn it the first time, it'll look boiled.
Okay,
That's
okay.
normal.
So, ganun yung gagawin mo.
Yeah. The idea is so that you get parang an even pink center versus some gray
Yung may gray band,
bands.
yeah. Tama, tama. I'm learning. Yo!
Grabe na
Fuck, I love you guys! So yung parang like super high heat ng pan, it's never really worked out for me. I like starting with medium.
Tsaka what I found, no, kapag super high heat yung pan, nagka-curl siya.
Yeah, you lose.
Nagka-curl, so hindi, walang full contact. Diba, no? I don't know kung sa meat lang ba yun o hindi ko sure. Pero eto, it's not curling, oh.
Can I have the wire rack?
Oh, wire rack! Ay! 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 Dalihan mo! Dalihan mo! Yan, pwede na yan.
Huwag mong hawakan.
Yan, okay.
Good.
So, at this point, kumpleto na lahat ng components natin.
Yes, just
Pagko-combine na lang
yung
natin.
eggplant lang.
Eggplant na lang.
So hot.
Oh no!
Wala.
There, use that fat.
Yan.
Grabe oh!
Sir,
Good, thank you.
tapos na pala. Tapos na pala. Kaya ko rin yun.
Usog ka konti dyan. Shoot mo lang.
Ay, sorry po.
Sige lang, di pa tapos.
Hindi, kailangan niyang tulong. Eh.
Oh, I need help. I need help.
Kailangan.
Lahat po, boss. Salamat.
Ugas na lang nung
Ayun oh, tira mo yan oh. Yan. Hindi plastic na nalaglag yan ha. Initin natin. Ako, re-emulsify ko. Ang sarap nung sauce tinikman ko kanina.
Ayusin mo, ang ganda ng pagkakagawa.
Maninipis? Parang makina naghiwa niyan, sir. So, lagay ko muna to o ano nasa pinakailalim?
Parang sauce muna.
Yun yung naisip ko. Hindi, yun yung naisip ko.
Busog ka kung hinaharangan mo yung camera.
Teka lang, kasama ako sa shot. Ito, alam mo, ito yung problema dito. Hindi naka-level yung ano namin.
Ang galing!
Karne dito, tapos assortments of vegetables dito.
Pwede. Yeah.
Ang ganda.
Veggies.
Veggies.
Are you okay with me using hands?
Oh, of course, of course.
Tablespoon
Tables!
or spoon?
Gusto ko magkasilbi sa episode na to.
That's the true plating.
Sir, pwede na akong bumalik?
Teka lang, hindi pa tapos.
Actually, ganyan din talaga iniisip ko. Ganyan din talaga.
Magsalita.
Mahirap kang i-blur.
Yan!
Napakaganda. At sa totoo lang, hindi alam ni Erwan na magluluto siya, pero nagluto siya at napakaganda ng kinalabasan. Diyan yung makikita na talagang malupit ang isang Erwan Heusaff, di ba? Beef sinigang yan, pare. O paano? Titikman na ba natin to? Oo. Kasi mukha naman talaga siya masarap, pero paano natin malalaman kung masarap yan?
Tikman na natin niya, pero Jerome, slow mo muna, konti lang.
What you think about that? What you think about anything? What you think about you? What you think about me? What you think about that? What you think about that? What you think about
Yeah, maganda. So, paano to?
I think before, because your team's been so nice to me, we have a tradition when we serve beef in Argentina that everyone should get a taste. I'll feed you. Wait. Both of you guys, so fucking sensual with the tongue.
Ang tarap! Ang tarap! Siyempre, rice yan, pre. Sinigang yan eh.
Yes.
Pero pag tinitingnan mo siya, ang ganda nung kapit.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit! Yo, alam ko yun. Alam ko yun.
And in Tagalog,
Kaunta.
kanta kanya.
Okay.
Lasang sinigang pa rin. To be fair, most of the work was done on his side. This would be nothing without the jus, without the demi-glace, without the tamarind broth.
Bigyan mo nga akong patis.
Sausawan.
Oo, sausawan eh.
Dapat may
Diba?
sausawan. Oh.
I mean, presented siya in a manner, parang kakaiba. Pero in its essence, ganun pa rin naman siya. Beef stock namin, mga 5-6 hours pinakuluan yung bagay na yon. So, ganun pa rin. Pumili lang ng kakaibang karne dito. Alam mo yun?
Tapos, the big difference is the fat.
Yeah.
Way more fat, obviously, than sinigang.
In its essence, steak to, na merong sinigang gravy. Parang ganun.
Sarap.
Tsaka ang ganda nung dish. Alam mo?
Galing Erwan!
Kakain muna kami. Ha? Kain muna kami. Mamaya na kayo. Tapos pagkatapos niyan, kwentuhan na tayo, pare. Game?
Game.
Okay, tara. Kain tayo. Yung bibigyan niya mga yan. Ito.
lang kami
Asa na?
masubuan.
Halika dito. Ganto sa amin eh. Ganto sa amin.
Kasi kanina sa Argentina.
Oo,
Sige!
oo.
Sige! Epektos ba yan? Epektos yan.
Mr. Erwan Heusaff. Hep! Mr. Ryan Reyes. Salamat. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Si Erwan Heusaff, kilala naman na. Tama na! Kilala natin lahat ang asawa ni Anne Cortis. Yes.
Asawa ni Anne Cortis?
Oo.
Hello po. Thank you, Tito Ninong Ry.
Na pag-usapan namin ni Alvin before, kung ikaw ay food content creator, luluhod ka kay Erwan. Yun yung, kasi naniniwala kami na ang laki ng inambag mo sa dito, sa sa niche natin. Kumbaga gumapang ka para tumakbo kami. Alam mo yun? Tapos, nakikita ko na medyo nag-pivot ka ng konti into something deeper, something serious, something na, alam mo yun, hindi lahat kami ay kayang gawin. If hindi nyo alam tinutukoy ko, panoorin nyo yung documentaries niya. Favorite ko is yung Kalamansi and Asin. Yung ube rin, actually. Na-surprise ako na nakabili kayo ng ube sa sa QC. Di ba? I think nakabili kayo ng ube sa QC. Tapos dito sa amin, tuwing December lang meron eh. Pero napakaganda nung mga ginagawa niya.
Thank you.
Kung hindi mo kilala si Erwan, ngayon kilala mo na. Di ba? Gusto ko lang din malaman. Ikaw ay considered ng dinosaur sa social media.
Correct.
Kailan ka talaga nagsimula?
I started with a blog.
Blog.
Written blog articles mostly about healthy eating and how to lose weight. 'Cause dati, this is 2010.
2010.
I had gone through a phase where in my life where parang obese ako. Like I was really, really heavy. I was 240 pounds, mga 115 kilos.
Uy, mas mabigat pa sa akin.
Yeah, so I was very big. I lost weight when I was working in Greece. So I was working in Greece for 6 months. Tapos yung Mediterranean food, very simple. Grilled, olive oil, salt, pepper, protein, vegetables. So I just ate that for 6 months.
So lose ka ng weight.
Yeah, and I lost weight so fast.
Talaga?
Yeah. I've always been active. Like I always did sports and everything like that. Pero my food was always a problem. And so once I fixed that, even if I was still drinking back then, like early 20s,
Yeah.
I'm still drinking a lot. I started losing weight. And I said, okay, this is easy as long as you have the discipline. So I'm going to write recipes around my journey and publish them online. And that's the blog was called The Fat Kid Inside.
Existing pa yun ngayon?
It's existing now as a production company.
No. Yung blog mismo, mapupuntahan
I
pa ba
have
namin?
the archives, but
Okay.
it's not online anymore.
Okay.
And then I saw parang made traction. It was working. So this is back 2010. I was at that point working in Russia. So I was in Siberia.
Okay.
Far Eastern Siberia. So I'd lost the weight already. This was after college now. I graduated college 2008. So Greece was 2007. And I was in Far Eastern Siberia. I was so bored. I was working operational jobs for a company called Sodexo.
So Dexo?
Yes.
Okay.
So I took care of all the mining areas, all the oil rigs, and all the business centers in Far
Okay.
Eastern Siberia. Packed lunches, buffet lunches, and everything like that.
When you say managing the operation ng ganong karaming pagkain, what does it entail? Ano ba to? Like
Parang,
planning?
Imagine a big warehouse with a massive kitchen, storekeepers, chefs, cooks, and basically I would be on top of all that. Yung parang daily planning, yung costing.
Pero you don't cook?
I wasn't cooking. I was managing the cooks.
Okay.
So I was on top of the cooks and I was working with them. Tapos yung where we were, yung business center natin, we had a bar, there was a club, there was a restaurant. So that went under my management also.
Okay.
But this is Far Eastern Russia.
Yeah.
Like it's not trendy, pretty, none of that, right? And I was parang one of the youngest expats there ever.
Para siyang probinsya?
Parang industrial park.
Industrial park. Okay.
Yeah, pero city. So mga 100,000
okay.
people. Not a huge city, but a city pa rin, 100,000 people. And so I was working 7 days a week. You would work 3 months full time whenever you're needed, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then you would get 3 weeks vacation. So 3 months on, 3 weeks off.
Parang hindi masaya yun,
Like yung mga tao sa mga barko.
Barko, yeah.
Similar. Or yung mga oil rig guys. So
Yeah.
same as that. And I would be so burnt out at work, I needed a outlet. And so that's why I started writing these recipes. And then when I started doing it, it gained traction. And then friends were like, oh, the recipes were great, but parang I wish I could see it on top of just a picture.
Like video.
And so that's why I started doing videos. Yeah.
Okay. Pero wait lang. Paano ka napupunta sa maraming bansa?
I had a chip on my shoulder, I think. So both my parents, my mom's from Laguna, Paete. My dad's from a very, very small town in France called Douarnenez in Brittany, West Coast. That's where cider, crepes are from. Quignemon, that's where it's from. Both of them came from a very humble family. My dad, there were 7 siblings.
7.
And my grandparents didn't have enough money to send them to school. So parang 2 of them, you become priest. 2 of you go to school.
So may tito kang priest.
He escaped. He was like, screw this.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my dad was one of the 2 that was selected to go into the Navy.
Okay.
So at 16 years old, my dad's in the Navy. Super hardcore upbringing, no money whatsoever. My mom, humble family pa rin, okay naman, from Paete. They eventually moved to Parañaque a long time ago. She was a bayanihan dancer.
Bayanihan?
Sorry, not bayanihan. What's it called? The traditional Filipino...
Meron silang parang dance troupe.
There's a dance troupe, yeah. And they would
okay.
tour the world. So that was her job. So she was I think she was the candle.
Yeah. Pandango sa ilaw.
She was the candle dancer in the Bayanihan dance troupe.
Okay.
And so, parang both my parents had this very hardworking background where they traveled a lot in the world. And so when my dad would tell stories when we were younger, when I'd hear him talk to people, his stories are so rich and there was so much life experience in them because he lived in close to 40 different countries with the Navy.
Wow.
And eventually he became a geophysicist researcher. So they would send him in like the desert or in Borneo, and he would live alone in a nipa hut for 6 months trying to look for oil and geothermal gas. Like crazy. He eventually wrote because his life was just so rich. And so he eventually met my mom. They lived in Borneo for a while. Then they moved to the Philippines. This is like 40 years ago. And then he set up a business here. And then through his hard work and grit, became very successful, right? So we grew up with that, silver spoon privilege in our mouth. So I didn't need to go to Eastern Russia. I didn't need to work in Greece and Thailand, Vietnam, and China. I worked in all these different places. But the reason why I did it is because we were brought up still with that mindset of coming from humility. And my parents were very strict with how we talked to people, how we treated people. And I'm really thankful for that because that's how I'm teaching my daughter also. So parang we grew up with money in one of the kind of like a gated community in Manila. But I realized when I was in college, I was surrounded by like privileged kids. And I would hear them talk and I was like, I don't want to be...
Saan ka nag-college?
Sa Paris.
Sa
So
Paris.
I did all my schooling here in the Philippines, in the French school here, and then Paris. And then when I heard them talk and they were complaining, parang these guys were like living in Paris, had a great life, and they're like, oh my God, I can't find a job in Paris. Look at me, I'm so poor, whatever. I was like, wow, these guys are freaking idiots. I'm like, so that next day, I put all my CVs together and I started sending them Cambodia, Russia, places that I never went to, places that you would hear in the news not great things about. And I'm like, I need that life experience because I don't want to become like these guys.
So sneak out mo yung parang you chose the harder path.
Yeah, because I knew it would, be like, it would give me the life experience that I craved so much. And like I said, it was a chip on my shoulder. And I was like, my dad I grew up looking up to him. And I was like, the way he talks to a room is so captivating because his stories are so rich. And I was like, if I come out of Paris University working for like, the plan at that point was to work for a hotel group or something like that. And I'm like, who am I going to be, right? I was in Russia for 2 years. I hated every single day of it.
Pero?
Like, hated it. But it was a personal challenge to say, I want to see this through. And I want to do it right and I want to do a good job. And that, I think, built the foundation of everything I accomplished.
Okay. Kita naman namin na talagang masipag ka and nakakatuwa. Ito pala, it's a personal choice. Buti meron kang self-awareness, no? Nung umpisa pa lang na, if I stay dito sa environment na to, magiging katulad nila ako.
Correct.
At ayaw mong maging ganun.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Nag-vlog ka, nasa Russia ka.
Correct.
Sa Siberia. Vlog, nagra-write ka. Ginagawa mo ba to like after work, ganon?
Yeah, so I would work all day and then I would remember Facebook was already becoming big in 2010. And parang yung friends ko dito sa Filipinas, they were complaining about, oh, it's so hard to cook food and everything. And I'm looking at my kitchen in Russia, which is those kitchens, they're not really made for cooking.
May video ka nun eh.
Yes.
May video ka, medyo ganyan yung camera angle nun. Tapos talagang parang condo style.
Correct.
Asa ko ba napanood yung video mo na yun?
Old
Siguro
school.
sa inyo,
Yeah.
sa inyo rin. I forgot. Pero yes, may video siya nun sa sabi niya nasa Russia siya, ganyan. I forgot eh. Pero yeah, mahirap nga magluto dun sa... Maliit siya,
it
no?
was like parang, it was not even induction. It was, what do you call those?
Hot plate.
Yeah, the hot plates.
Yeah.
But no, not the ones that stick out. But you know what I mean, right?
Yung parang griddle.
Yeah, yung parang griddle.
Okay,
yeah.
parang French cooktop.
Correct.
Okay.
So it was that and then microwave. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to make a video where I'm going to make a chocolate lava cake in a coffee mug in a microwave. Just to
Okay.
show people that you can cook with whatever you have. And then I posted it on Facebook and it went, by those times standards, it
Kung
went
ano man yung viral.
Yeah,
Yung time
it
na
went,
yun, yeah.
it went viral on Facebook. And I was like, oh, there's something here, right? And then so, parang I just kept doing it. I was still in Russia. So I didn't plan to leave leaving Russia. So I really saw that. And then after that, I came back to the Philippines because every 3 months I had 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And I would come back to the Philippines. So I was already starting to understand opportunities would be here. And then when I came back after Russia, the group, Sodexo, told me I was doing a great job and they wanted to move me. So from operations manager to maybe more of a country position.
Okay.
Pero they said Nigeria. And
Nigeria.
I just did 2 weeks. I did 2 years in Russia, and I was like, I'm not gonna do another 2 years in Nigeria.
Okay.
I feel like because already at the end of Russia, I was starting
Ayaw mo na.
to lose it a little bit.
Okay.
Because you don't really talk. You have no friends.
Yeah,
No friends. No friends. The Russian guys hate you. Russian girls all want to get out of the country, so they're all looking for passports and stuff like that. Yung mga expats are all 40, 50 years old, so parang
Okay.
walang connection. So I didn't have any friends. And so they said Nigeria. Tapos I went through yung security briefing for Nigeria. So they said, okay, if you're driving your car and you see a military police stopping you in the street, just run over him. And I was like, excuse me, what do you mean run over him? He's like, yeah, they're probably fake police. Just drive right through them. And I was like, is this legit? Are you making fun of me? Is this like a joke? And they're like, no, that's part of the security briefing. And I was like, there's no fucking way.
Nakakatakot yun, ha?
I don't want to work in Nigeria. I'm good. So I decided to come back to the Philippines. And then I tried to do what I was doing in Russia. So corporate, large-scale food. So parang yung mining camps dito, taking care of that. And we did it for 2 years with a local company. And it worked, but not because the budgets were different.
Yeah.
So parang in Russia, a big company will supply all the food for its employees. Supply like containers where they can do their laundry and all that. Set up restaurants in the middle of nowhere. In the Philippines, you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we'll give you 20 pesos, you cook your own food,
Yeah.
you wash your clothes in the river and everything like that. So we were trying to fix that, but the companies here didn't want to pay for it.
Okay.
So I left that catering group, and eventually, while that was happening, I was slowly growing my following online.
Nung time na yun, ano ba to? Like, personal profile mo or may fan page ka na ba nun?
So the website was the Fat Kid Inside. So yun yung website. Tapos lahat ng videos nasa Vimeo. And then embed lang. Pero yung main platform was
It's the website. Ano gusto ko lang maintindihan nyo lalo sa mga batang nanonood ngayon. Para magkaroon ka ng certain following sa isang website, tandaan mo hindi lalabas sa newsfeed mo yan. Sasadyain mo yan.
You have to find it.
Meron kayang bago sinulat sa Erwan ngayon, bubuksan mo yung browser mo, itatype mo yung address at saka ka pupunta. Hindi tulad ngayon na probably kaya mo lang ito pinapanood ngayon kasi na-scroll mo. Lumabas sa feed mo. Hindi ang website ay hindi pinupush sa inyo. So, ibang klaseng connection.
Correct.
Ang kailangan mo. I had that connection with Market Manila.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Joel is a perfect example of that, right?
Diba?
Parang super hardcore fan base. People really enjoy. You're a source of entertainment, but correct, you're an entertainment source that people have to, with intent, try to look for and find.
With intent.
Yeah.
Yun yung ano dito mahalagang bagay dito, with intent.
Correct.
Like sasadyain mo talagang puntahan yung bagay na. So to build a following sa ganong klaseng dynamic na relationship, hindi siya madali.
It's hard. No, but more importantly, parang it has to be very useful and practical information.
Yes,
so
tama.
that was the difference before. You wouldn't go on a blog page for entertainment. You would go because you're trying to look for something, and most probably you're finding it through search.
Yeah.
So SEO, search words, and everything like that. So mine was very clear. It was healthy Filipino food, or healthy food in general, and then a little bit of Filipino recipes there. But it was always healthy food.
Yung following mo then was mostly Filipinos?
It was similar to today. So it was like 70% Filipino, 30% abroad.
Okay.
And then at its peak, I think we were hitting like 50 to 100,000
Hits?
visits
Wow.
a month.
Mataas yun
Which was pretty high back then, right? And so brands, obviously, they wanted to put their ads on the website, which seems very clunky nowadays. But that's how you would make money.
Pero meron ka ng ano nun, may ads ka na from the website nun.
So you would have, ads from Google AdSense.
Yeah, Google Ads.
Which was peanuts.
Yeah.
And then you would have brands kind of pay you for integration.
Yan ang hindi ko alam.
Yeah. So,
Yan, hindi ko alam
You would
yan.
sell banners. So for example, you would sell banner space on your website. If you had a 50,000 to 100,000 hit rate per month, you could charge mga 10K a month.
Yung brands lalapit sa'yo, hey, we want to purchase this,
Correct.
the banner.
So back then they would look at real estate, website real estate.
Yeah.
And so that's what they would look to purchase. And then
Okay.
sometimes you had some people kind of like who would want integrated content. Very rare.
Integrated content meaning...
Parang, can you use my product in your recipe? And that's where it started. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's a way to make money here that's not platform dependent. Because brands are looking for diversification in how they communicate to their audiences.
Tama.
So yeah, so as it went from written to video, at one point, both of those things were as important as each other. Like the written text and the video. Eventually, at one point, it just went towards video.
Tulad din ni Panlasang Pinoy, meron siyang website, tapos meron siyang video na ginawa niya lang for the sole purpose na i-integrate dun sa website.
Correct.
Ganun din yung sa'yo.
Yeah.
Pero, at the time, wala pang monetization sa YouTube nun, right?
Wala naman. I think it was slowly starting, but it wasn't huge. And then I think also at that time, that's when I transitioned from catering to developing restaurant concepts. And so 2012, 2013 is when I started opening my first restaurants in the Philippines.
Yan, gusto kong pag-usapan yan.
So that became my main job,
Yung restaurant.
yung restaurants.
Okay.
And then everything online was just, again, still just a hobby in 2012, 2013.
Okay. Ano ang unang restaurant na binuksan mo?
Hatch 22,
Saan?
power plant.
Ano ang concept nito?
All day Filipino breakfast brunch.
Okay. Etong pagpasok mo sa restaurant, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na ano to bulag to tulad ng karamihan. Kasi aminin natin, karamihan na nagtatayo ng restaurant, ang iniisip nila, ay, magaling akong magluto. Ibenta natin to. Pero it's not as simple as that. Ikaw galing ka sa malaking operations.
Correct.
May idea ka sa procurement, may idea ka sa handling, may idea ka sa lahat. Passionate ka pa about food, di ba? So talagang nandun, primed ka talaga na mag-restaurant and nare-recognize mo yung sa sarili mo.
Correct. I think sorry. There was one more. There's a restaurant before that, but it happened almost at the same time as Hatch. Was Hungry Hound and Ninong Ry. It's a cocktail bar and a Filipino gastropub.
Okay.
So those were the two first concepts. Were side by side on 32nd Avenue in Fort Bonifacio.
So,
That was the first one.
wait. So, nung umpisa kang pumasok sa pag-restaurant, tatlo agad?
Yeah. So that
What?
was problematic. So I think maybe the reason why is because people saw I was coming from that operational background. And I was getting popular online.
Sa blog.
It's a blog
Yeah.
and with the videos and some brands were starting to kind of pay attention and also want to get me as endorser, like very celebrity driven in the Philippines. And so some groups recognized that. And I said, okay, Erwan, let's sit down with Erwan and see what he has to offer. And I have a very strong operational background, but I don't like it.
Okay.
Like, I know how to do it, but because of Russia and what happened, I really don't like it anymore. So I'm very good at working with different kitchen teams, working with chefs, working with front of house people, product development, and all that R&D. That's really my wheelhouse, and putting all those elements together to form a cohesive concept. While understanding the economics of it. So
Okay.
that's kind of like what people saw when they interviewed me. So it
Ah.
just so happens that Ninong Ry and Hungry Hound, same group, same space, pero just divided in two. And then the Hatch 22 people saw
Same
that
group
at the
din?
same time.
Okay.
Different group.
It's a different group.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we set all that up in, I think it was 2013, 2014.
Tatlong restaurant at a time and sabi mo merong group behind this. So merong additional support. It's not all you.
Dapat.
What do you mean dapat?
So with Hungry Hound, Ninong Ry, love those guys. I'm still very much involved with the same group. So we have, Yes Please, Medusa, the Palace, the clubs and all that. That's still the same group as Ninong and Hungry Hound. And I was very proud of those two concepts. Maybe just briefly, Ninong Ry was a cocktail bar when there was only Blind Pig in the Philippines. So it was Blind Pig and then Ninong Ry and Curator started at the same time. So that's why the bar people, we became very close. Because no one was doing cocktail bartending back then.
Tama.
Like for cocktails back then, you'd go to a hotel lobby, TGI Fridays.
Tama.
Right? So you wouldn't go to a cocktail bar. So we were the first three. And it was so bad that we couldn't find the alcohol that we needed. So each time we would travel, nasa
Bibili kayo.
suitcase. Like we had suitcases full of bottles.
Ang bigat nun.
Yeah, super heavy. Like customs never stopped us.
Good.
So that's how we
Thank
set
you.
things up. And with Hungry Hound. And those two concepts did really well for a long time. And the only reason we closed them is because we were moving everyone to the Palace. And the Palace is 5,000 square meters.
Yeah.
So we needed all hands on deck for all the concepts there.
Okay.
So we just shifted our operation. For Hatch, it was supposed to be the same way where I contribute what I'm good at contributing. But very quickly, there were holes in the operations that I saw.
Like?
Financial holes, operational holes, no one really overseeing certain things, no one checking on admin permits and all that, no one kind of coordinating HR.
So medyo magulo.
Medyo magulo. And so a year and 2 years into it, it's like, okay, because of my upbringing, I kind of felt I needed to kind of step into a larger role of handling it. And it did okay for a while. And then the group got very trigger happy and they're like, oh, this is fairly successful.
Isa pa.
Isa pa. So with that group, the Hatch 22 group, we ended up doing Crispam 28th, Pink Panda in Poblacion, The Red Light, which was a pop-up kitchen in Poblacion, Sprout, which was a takeaway healthy food concept. Sabaw, which was a Filipino soup bar, kind of like ramen but Filipino soups, and then Bates, seafood tasting restaurant.
Ilan yun? 6?
I
5?
don't even know. But yeah, 6 additional ones with that group.
6 additional ones. Anong involvement mo sa mga yon?
At that point, I was running point.
Okay.
I had to step into the pan. But I mean, we still separated with the different partners, and I'm still okay with all the partners. Naman. But there was just a general misunderstanding of our revenue's doing well, the sales are there, but no one was really looking inside and under the hood and checking profitability and checking all that, cash flow and stuff like that. And because no one was really handling it 100% and everyone was just kind of splitting the work, like these holes started showing very quickly. Imagine like, and this is not something I wanted to do full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got to a point over a couple of years. We had 6 or 7 restaurants with that
Yeah.
group. You're talking about easily per restaurant 30 to 40 people.
Ang hirap i-manage yun.
at
Tao ang pinakamahirap
240
i-manage.
to 300 employees
Yeah.
under that group. It's fairly big already. Mga 2016, 2017 started falling apart. That's when, for me, it was a very dark time, specifically because as this was happening, the restaurants, everything I was doing online was from there, went from blogging to YouTube now. Right?
Ito ay Erwan Heusaff YouTube channel na.
Correct. So that was really going up. Endorsements, deals, everything. The restaurants were being built. So this was happening simultaneously. What I never expected was that online persona to leach into the restaurants. So everyone that went to the restaurants, yung customers, one, they thought I was the head chef. Because I was doing cooking videos online. So they thought I was the head chef cooking in those restaurants. So I would get hate if one diner had a bad experience. Oh, Erwan's food is disgusting. We went to his restaurant. So those little things kind of chip at you. So you'd have the online sphere and the offline sphere kind of colliding. And that was the first time I saw, wow, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like this could be a very dark place.
Ngayon kasi, that's the norm eh.
It's the norm.
It's yung
Yeah.
isa ay extension of the other.
Correct.
Pero then, dun palang nangyayari na nagko-combine silang dalawa.
Exactly. And there was, I don't know why, but there was this, back then, when you were doing online videos, if you did a branded video, people would say you're a fucking sellout. Like, why are you doing branded content? This is supposed to be free. So people didn't understand how you earn from these things.
Yes.
Right? And then not only that, but there was a sense of people really wanted to hurt you. Like, so they would, when you would close a restaurant, it's crazy. People would celebrate it online. Haha, Erwan sucks so much, he closed the restaurant. And not understanding that when you close a restaurant, it's not just me. I'll be fine, right? It's 40 other people,
Yeah.
right, who are losing
It's
their
the
jobs.
staff,
And, everything. And I didn't understand why there was such dark aspect to it. And I think it's because socially, as humans, we weren't ready yet for social media. So we didn't, I mean, even now, you look at comment sections, people are so mean.
Yung tatanong ko eh, has it changed?
I don't think it has changed, but I think it has expanded in a sense that you see more of the positive now than the negative, right? Whereas before, people didn't know how to interact with each other online.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was very kind of like no holds bar. I think now, like, honestly, I still get hate messages from time to time, but it represents 1% of the 99%.
Yes, of course.
Which is fine.
I mean, wala akong idea sa feeling ng content creator, which was you are, nung time na yon. Ikaw nandun ka eh. Kasi ako, consumer ako ng media. Sanay ako sa TV. Never ko naisip mag-comment. Alam mo yon?
Yeah,
Like,
correct.
hindi naman siya parte ng pang-araw-araw na buhay eh. Di man ako nagko-comment, nakikita ko yung mga comments na tao. And tama ka. Hateful siya.
Yeah, very hateful.
Very hateful. Pero hindi ko talaga alam kung iba na ba ngayon. Naigets ko yung sinabi mo. Baka mas marunong nang makipag-communicate ang tao ngayon.
Correct.
Diba? So, nagsasabay itong dalawang to. Nasaan nangyari yung talagang transition? Nagkaroon ba ng moment na nilet go mo sila lahat sabay-sabay? When did you make a choice?
Around 2016. So I was already doing we had a travel series called Overnight. I always shot my own stuff, and then I realized very quickly I'm okay with a camera. Like, I'm good enough. Like, I can do travel films and stuff like that, but I'd rather work with people who are better than me. And so very quickly I got approached by a company called Seabiscuit. I think back in 2016. They're closed now.
Like, wait,
But
I wanna-
they were the ones who said, hey, we like what you're doing, but we just hate the quality of your work. I remember this was the first Starbucks takeaway place in BGC, drive-through. We met there. And then they said, why don't we do the production for you? And you're the talent producer and everything. I said, game. So we started doing a couple cooking shows, a couple travel shows with them. And I was like, oh, this is the direction I want to take.
So sila yung nag-produce?
So they produced everything. And
Ikaw,
then
ikaw ay talent.
I did. So they just showed up with the cameras and edited. I with them, so they directed obviously, but I did all the executive production. So when we did a travel show, I did all the bookings, the payments, the hotels, everything. I did the itinerary, the scripts, talent, everything else.
Did you pay them?
No, so that was the deal. Like they would do this for free, and I would be the talent for free. Because we both understood, and I still love those guys. That's where the market was going. Whereas it's not just TV anymore, but people need to be able to create digital content.
So ikaw, may kita ka sa AdRev. How did they earn?
Because we knew by doing this, we would set an example and a standard that brands would come in and start paying for. Yeah. So
I
the branded
see.
content was always our goal.
Okay.
Because AdRev, I mean, back then was nothing, right?
Yeah.
Even now, I mean, if you look at our ad rev, I don't hide it. It's in the BIR. I pay my taxes. Yeah. I don't know where they go. In the in the BIR, like I mean, we pay our taxes yearly on YouTube ad rev, but the ad rev that we have on YouTube, barely. We have 35 people on payroll. It scratches it.
Yeah.
Not even. So whatever we earn on YouTube is nothing. Like, we always get comments. I always find this really funny. We always get comments online where people are like, oh, you know, this video has 150,000 views on this documentary on this one Paris guy. Oh, we hope everyone really paid that Paris person. We do. We give them, you know, money for their time and everything like that. But our hope is we promote what he's doing and hopefully generate business for him. If we're, to be honest, like 120,000 views now, 150,000 views, we probably earn 10,000 pesos from that.
Yon.
10,000 pesos.
Akala kasi ng ibe. Akala piso per view.
10,000. No, but the most important part is 10,000 pesos. You have 7 people working on it. Am I supposed to pay those people with peanuts? Or like whatever? You know, that's what some people don't understand, which kind of stresses me out sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sabi ko dun sa mga kasama namin sa bahay. Ko, te, tingin mo, 1 million views, magkano ang kikitain? So absurd na numbers, sabi. Sabi ko, hindi. Ito ang kinikita ng 1 million views sa Facebook. Kasi dun sila expose. Sa Facebook, ito. Huh? Talaga? Di ko sasabihin kung magkano. Pero, dun mo makikita sa estimate nila at yung totoong value na nakukuha kung ano yung tingin ng tao na kinikita ng mga content creators.
And
Manipis talaga.
I mean, maybe to give context to people, because I feel like you know, these numbers should be out there. Like, let's say you hire a fairly good DOP videographer, he's going to be charging you 15,000 to 20,000 pesos per day. So that video is making 10,000 pesos revenue, and he's already charging you 20,000. You want to add the audio tech, the other cam op, the producer. Easy to produce that video. You're spending 50 to 60,000 pesos. Right?
Gusto ko lang gusto ko lang linawin.
Sit down, sit down.
Ang sabi ni Erwan, magaling na DOP. Ang pinupunto lang natin dito, ano to? Medyo loss leader tong mga
100%
videos
loss leader.
na to.
And it's a loss leader because for us as content creators, we earn mostly through branded content,
Yes.
right? And it's a weird platform where, like TV, you have to continuously create content for the platform to grow and be visible enough for advertisers to come in. So I tell this all new content creators also, you have to do things for free in the beginning because advertisers and agencies won't understand how they can pay you, how they can integrate themselves in your content. And so it is a loss leader. And so that's why we understood that in the beginning. We have to make these on our own, invest in our own content first, and eventually get higher margin projects where that can pay for everything else.
Tandaan mo, yung channel mo is basically your portfolio.
Correct.
Yung portfolio mo, pinapakita mo sa mga brands kung ano yung kaya mong gawin, kung ano yung numbers na kaya mong kunin. Nakikita ko to sa mga ibang short form content creators eh. Masipag sa umpisa, nakakuha ng maraming views. Tapos, there comes a point in time kung saan wala akong kinikita dito eh. It's not really worth my time kasi may day job ako or nag-aaral ako or may other responsibilities ako. Hindi tuloy sila makapag-focus and I don't blame you. Ganoon naman talaga.
Yeah.
Nagkataon lang din talaga sa akin na COVID noon. Nagsimula ako, wala talaga akong trabaho, literal. 'Di ba? Kaya nakapag-focus ako dun sa bagay na 'yon. Pero ang daming potential na magagaling na content creators talaga na nawawala kasi hindi sila incentivized na gawin yung bagay na 'yon.
Correct. But so the consistency and the consistency to lose money is super important and lose time. And the second one is the consistency in your messaging. That's super important.
Yeah.
And that was another thing when we started doing branded content. Not just the customer, not just the viewers would understand, but also the agencies and brands didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like back then, I saw a Reddit thread about me saying I was very particular when brands would work with me, or I was very what's the word? Spoiled because I would say no a lot.
Agency people ang gumawa nitong
Yeah, I
thread
think
na
so.
to.
There's a thread about Erwan being particular, but I've always because I'm someone who will never be scared to saying no because I know who I am. I know what I like. If that makes me particular, totally fine with that.
So thank you for saying yes to this.
Yeah. But I would say, because I understood, I had to say no to a lot of projects because if I said yes to too many things, parang then your viewers go, I don't want to watch this guy anymore. That's a sellout.
Yeah.
So that's why I said no to a lot of things in the beginning because people were used to TV. So they were used to people smiling, cute, always like nice, yes po, hi, hi po, like all of those things. Like I knew it was important to be very authentic because that's what online platforms want.
Gusto ko lang din sabihin, si Erwan, talagang hindi na natin pwede i-compare sa ibang content creator. Sabi nga sa iluluhod tayong lahat dyan, di ba? Nakita ko yung work that goes into, at least nagkaroon ako na sneak peek. No? Kasi nandun ako sa studio nila kamakailan. Nakikita ko kung gaano karaming tao, nakikita ko kung gaano ka-organized, and ikaw bilang tao rin talaga, nakikita ko kung gaano ka Diyos ko, hindi siya maliit na bagay talaga. Kung ano yung iniisip nyo, amount ng work na pumapasok sa isang video ni Erwan, times that to 100. Hindi kasi, andali kasing i-judge nung bunga ng mangga eh. Alam mo yun. Nakikita mo yung bunga ng mangga, ay bulok, ay pangit yan, ang daming blemishes, tapo natin yan.
Correct, yeah.
Pero hindi natin nakikita kung paano ginather nung leaves yung sunlight, kung paano hinigop ng ugat yung tubig mula sa lupa, 'di ba? Yung trabaho, kinailangan. Naalala ko nung pinanood ko yung Asin documentary nyo. And it's not a vlog ha, documentary 'yon.
Correct.
Oo, hindi siya vlog. Kinailangan yung bumalik doon sa salt production kasi umulan.
Yeah.
The time?
Yeah, correct.
And hindi naman yan yung dyan lang. I think sa Cavite yun or
Cavite, yeah.
something. 'Di ba? So pagka sila ay bumiyahe, kasama lahat ng tao.
Yeah.
'Di ba? And kapag nagtatrabaho sila doon, hindi sila makakapagtrabaho dito. Hindi talaga biro, lalo sa kalibre ng ginagawa ni Erwan. And sana naiintindihan ko na karamihan nai-intimidate sa videos mo. Naiintindihan ko yan. And I think alam mo rin naman.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Alam mo rin naman na kasi nag-i-English, ganyan. Kaya pala walang na-intimidate sa akin. Ganon. Diba? So, hindi siya basically pang masa.
Yeah.
Alam mo yun. And alam mo yun eh.
Correct.
Alam mo yung bagay na. Pero give it a try. Give it a try talaga. Kami sa bahay non-stop, lalo sa gabi. It's either reruns ng KMJS o kaya Erwan Heusaff. Yun. Dalawa yun. Dalawa yun. Legit yun.
I mean, for us, I understood that very quickly. And that's one of the reasons why we transitioned to feature. It's because, people have all these supercharged biases about me. They saw one video from me 10 years ago and they decided, I don't like Erwan.
Or maybe they remember the taho.
Or maybe they remember the toho. And they're like, screw this guy, right?
Sorry.
No, it still comes up. It still comes up. That's the funny part. And I saw on Twitter the other day, I saw something really funny. They go, hey guys, come on, maybe have a look at what Feature has done in terms of documentaries, and maybe let's excuse the guy who undercooked sago. I think it's time for us to move on from undercooked sago. Thanks to like the salt
Was that
documentary.
the issue? The undercooked sago, or you using silk and tofu?
It was the undercooked sago that was a bigger problem.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Ako
There's a whole backstory there, and I did a video about it.
Pinanood ko yun.
And most people in the video were like, I don't believe that. I'm like, all right, whatever. You don't want to believe it? That's totally fine. And back then, content was very much about you're an expert. So parang, even if it's the first time you're cooking a recipe, fucking own it. I mean, you've been in enough TVC sets now to understand how expensive it is.
Oo.
And how many people there are there.
Ang
And
dami.
how everyone wants to get out within 8 hours. And so what the hell was that? The ingredients were there. And I said, hey, did you soak the sago for this recipe? She goes, no, but it's okay. And I'm here, 7 white people with cameras. And I'm like, okay. Let's do this. And yeah, so that's what
Yeah.
you know.
Ang
That's
dami-
where I learned how to say no and like stick to it.
Tama kasi sa commercial halimbawa, kaya sa malalaking production na ganyan, easily 60 people.
Yeah.
Ang daming tao, di ba, no, bro, no? Like, ang dami.
And all looking at you.
Kapag
like,
nagkamali ka ng
do
take,
not mess up.
Yes.
Because I want to move on and I
Yes.
want to go home.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Hindi joke yun, ha? So kapag nag-shoot kami ng commercial, 30 seconds, yung recent, yung mga nakikita nyo, di ba? Pre, isang buong araw yan, ha? When I say isang buong araw, hindi lang 8 hours. 16,
Correct.
ganyan. Minsan even more. Papasok na tayo sa pandemic.
Oh,
Oo.
yes.
Gusto kong tanungin yung transition mula sa Erwan Heusaff papunta sa feature.
Do you remember from school there's this thing called the Maslow
Hierarchy of
hierarchy
needs.
of needs?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. And I firmly believe in that. Like, and I was already kind of like fairly successful. I had kind of built a name online. The restaurants that remained open were doing really well. And then obviously pandemic happened, and the idea was to just go back and forth between Australia and the Philippines because Anne wanted to be close to her mom who lives in Australia. Just so happens we got locked down there.
So nandun kayo before magkaroon ng travel ban, parang ganon?
So yes, so we went there December na so that Anne could find a doctor
December.
of 2019.
2019.
Tapos yung due date niya March. And so in January I was back here.
Okay.
I stayed until February. February I went back.
March 15 kasi nag-lock eh.
Yeah. So Anne gave birth March 2. So parang we had like 10 days with a newborn. Can't do anything. We were at the house anyways.
Yeah, tama. So, doon sa Australia, kamusta yung sitwasyon ng pandemic?
It was one of the worst lockdowns in the world, specifically in Melbourne. Because it's like states there, so all the different states have different rules. Victoria, Melbourne was the strictest.
Gano'n ka strict? Like, bawal lumabas ng bahay?
Yeah, like
So,
no exercise, no like.
Even on your own yard, ganon?
I mean, your own yard is okay. One person allowed every day to go out to buy supermarket groceries and stuff like that. It was very very strict. And going into the pandemic, I think our team we were 8. 8 full-timers in the Fat Kid Inside.
Yeah.
Because we were mostly producing Air One content. During kind of like the last part, 2019, if you watch our videos from 2019, they're all still up. We did a lot of travel provincial videos. Me going to different parts of the Philippines for travel purposes, like surfing and stuff like that, but also trying local foods
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And each time we were doing those circuits, I was like, parang, I wish we could stay
Longer.
one more day here to talk to this one guy, or one more day here to feature this food. And it just felt like we were moving so fast through the provinces. And the reason why is because cost money.
Yeah,
Like it was,
of course.
every day is cost. So we had to move quickly. And you know, the brands that were working with us, that was the reason why we were able to go out and kind of shoot. This idea of maybe we want to start focusing on other people more than me, that's when it started. Right. And so if you look at our content in 2020, you'd already see some experiments there of just like full on documentaries with my voiceover. Because we're like, okay, let's try to transition people into documentaries by still having my voice. Sometimes even just me presenting in a studio and then cutting to a documentary sequence. Very Jessica Soho.
So,
Right?
ini-ease in mo.
Correct.
Papunta. Kasi, pero at that time, malinaw na sa'yo kung ano yung gusto mong gawin.
It was clear that I wanted to do something bigger and
Bigger.
try to help people, try to help the country and what we have. Because each time we would go anywhere, we would always have really sad stories. Like people telling us, oh, I wish this would come out and stuff like that. And when we did, like, for example, our travel trip to Tawi-Tawi with Gina Lopez, that's what opened my eyes also. And that was the same year we did a trip in Kalinga and Ifugao Mountain Province. And that really opened my eyes to like, wow, we really don't know anything about our local food.
Like, ang dami pa pala natin pwedeng
Yeah,
i-share.
like yung
Ganyan.
food systems namin, yung foodways namin. Tapos, we did a show for Tastemade again called Origins, where we had to travel to Mindoro, Batanes, all these places, and we created documentaries there. And I was like, wow, there's such richness that no one talks about, right? And during the pandemic, it kind of forced our hand, obviously.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, now I need to hire a food editor because I'm not there to do the cooking videos. So I'll still do the cooking videos in my house in Australia, but I need someone to be able to do cooking videos with my team in Manila because I wanted them to work also, to keep working. And so that's when I hired Martin.
Martin, yes.
So Martin joined, and you see in 2020, 21, parang may solo cooking videos niya. Also
yes.
series and stuff like that. And so that's when it all kind of started. And there was just like this deeper drive. We're like, okay, when you look at food media around the world, what do we not have in the Philippines that we're not showcasing? And again, started always with a chip of my shoulder. And that was my problem with language, like Tagalog language, with Filipino recipes, being told I'm wrong constantly online. That's not how you do it. That's not how my mom does it. That's how my grandmother does it. And I was like, there's an issue here. There's a problem here where people don't really truly understand how diverse our food is. And I said, the only way to kind of prove a point and to force people into learning more about their culture is to make videos about it for them to see it and be like, wow, okay, actually, you know what? I didn't know. And
Education, basically.
Education, exactly.
Yeah. Gusto ko lang, i-share din sa mga taong nagsasabi na hindi Pilipino si Erwan. Napapansin niyo, Tagalog ko siyang kinakausap. Kaya ko sanang mag-Ingles. Oh, yes, of course. I can speak the language of the conquerors.
You sound like all my titos now.
Hindi, kaya ko siyang kausapin ng Ingles, mas komportable sa akin ng Tagalog, pero nakikita nyo naman na nagtatagalog ako at naiintindihan niya. Yun yun. Nakita ko nga isang video rito, nagtatagalog, very fluent. I appreciate that. Pero, naigets ko yung sinasabi mo, and alam mo, watching your videos, alam ko na naman na, like ko sinasabi to marami pa akong hindi alam talaga.
Oh, yeah.
Alam mo isang striking sa akin, naalala ko, yung nag-video kayo nung rotten bangus. Mud fermented bangus.
Lumlum.
Lumlum.
Sa Bulacan.
Oo.
Ugh.
'Di ba? So, it's something na hindi ko alam. Meron, ang dami. Alam mo, minsan nakaka-overwhelm manood ng videos nyo. Kapag sunod-sunod,
And I think,
dapat isa-isa lang.
Yeah, I think also parang our viewers sometimes get overwhelmed. And that's why, I mean, to anyone who had any animosity towards me, I forgive you. But no, also like if people watch feature nowadays, they'll see that I'm in only one in every 5 or 6 videos. Like,
Yeah.
It's really not about me anymore. Like,
It's feature na nga.
It's feature talaga.
We're featuring something.
Exactly.
Oo, hindi na Erwan Heusaff. Pero iniisip ko lang naalala ko yung transition na yan. Kasi noon pa naman ako naka-follow sa even before all this. Was it hard letting go of that? Kasi I could imagine na parang mula Erwan Heusaff magiging feature, na yung feature kailangan ko pang i-explain sa tao kung bakit
Yeah.
feature. Pag nag-search kayo ng Erwan Heusaff, feature ang unang lalabas Alam mo yun? So, naging madali lang ba? Mahirap?
I can compartmentalize things very well. And this was the second time in my life where I felt like it was getting a little toxic. And because people misunderstood where I was coming from. I mean, I always say for the language and in general in the world, 2 things can be right
At the same time.
I can suck at Tagalog and still love the Philippines at the same time.
True.
Right? I can still work on my Tagalog while showcasing and teaching people through the documentary about Filipino food. Those 2 things can be true at the same time. And I think a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah.
They can't make amends of that. And I felt like in 2019, 2020, it was like when I had the restaurants where there was just like this misunderstanding of what we're trying to accomplish. And so I said, you know what? The easiest thing for me to do is prove it, prove that I can take a step back and that, because I always said to people, I said, when you look at my content, it was never for pure entertainment. From the beginning in the fatkitinside.com, it was always practical information. I come from a very dinosaur old school background that if you're going to look for my website, you should be learning something or learning something new. And I still have that mindset, right? So our content has to be practical and valuable. And so I said, okay, let's prove a point that the content is valuable and take the celebrity out of it, like strip it from that, and then just showcase the documentaries. And it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because that full transition was 2021. It was like, okay, this my whole life, and at this point, this is my bread and butter. This is where I make money.
Yeah.
And my whole life is based on that, right? This idea that people follow me, and I was like, but I want to prove that people follow for another reason. And so we did that transition. The first year, touch and go.
Yeah.
I was like,
Nakita ko yun Finalo
I
ko yun
know if brands get this, the
Yeah.
documentary is not really getting it. And I think the video that really like popped off was the Asintibo. When that came in, and it was just a combination of so many things moving towards the right direction, and that popped off. I think everyone in their head went, oh,
Gets ko na.
this is feature. Like, we get it. This is what you guys are doing. There's intent, there's impact, there's Filipino story, there's teaching, there's value, but it's still entertaining in a sense that it's very cinematic. It's pretty to watch.
Tama.
And that was the big transition in terms of the business model. So now we were building a platform that didn't have me, right? Brands were like, oh, wait, these documentaries focusing on people are super engaging. How do we do that for ourselves, for the brands? And that's when we became more of a studio for brands.
Okay.
So now the main business model for us is we're not earning through the platforms. As I told you, we don't earn that much on the platform, not enough to pay our people. I have direct brand partnerships, sponsorships, and endorsements. Feature on its own is just purely a publishing platform. Sometimes may brands that say, hey, we want to have a documentary on feature with our brand. It's possible sometimes lang, when it makes sense.
So you view it as parang some sort of parang distribution platform yung channel.
Correct.
Hindi ba like the Fat Kid mismo is technically a production company.
Correct.
'Di ba? So, kasi you work with other brands na hindi necessarily pinapublish sa feature. Kasi nandun si si Mon tsaka si Julius ng isang branded content namin few years back 'di ba? So, nagulat pa nga ako, sabi ko, bakit kayo? Hindi ko na tinanong, pero doon nag-make sense sa akin na okay, production company.
Correct.
Gets.
Yeah.
Sige. So ngayon, eto narinig mo na to. Hindi ito bago. Pero ako medyo nag-agree ako dito. Pero I don't want that to color your answer. Anong masasabi mo doon sa mga taong sinasabi na you are the closest thing, at least sa Pilipinas, to Anthony Bourdain?
I mean, there's no right way to answer that. If I'm gonna be very transparent and honest, I don't know about you, but I don't watch a lot of things in my industry. So I don't watch a lot of cooking stuff.
I only watch for research.
Yeah. I watch the research, and that's why I don't like to do it, because then it becomes work.
Yeah.
And you can't relax. So I like to watch things that are completely, like, I love medical dramas.
House,
like Grey's Anatomy, House, and stuff like that. I love, like, really, like, I used to love watching kind of like Friends and stuff like that.
Friends, yes.
But when it's my own niche, I don't like watching it. So a lot of people say we were influenced by Bourdain, and when we had the show overnight, 100% I agree. Because we were watching his shows back then, which was
layover ba ang nun?
No Reservation muna.
No Reservation.
Yeah, that's what we were watching. And when we launched overnight, layover same time. So people drew the parallel right away.
Okay.
But it wasn't influenced by it.
Okay.
But I guess, I think because that's the idea was to make a food show that's not about food.
A food show that's not about food.
And that's Bourdain, right? All his documentaries and shows and everything, it was never about the food. It was about the conversation around
Yes.
it. It was political. It was socially, culturally aware and stuff like that. And so in that aspect, I agree. I wouldn't say me personally. I say the treatment and how we approach things and our team. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, wala ka namang, I wouldn't say problema, pero wala kang issue kapag sinasabi ng tao sa'yo, you don't take offense.
That comparing me to Bourdain,
Yes.
or that we copied Bourdain?
No. That you're the closest thing that we have.
I mean, if I'm anything like Bourdain, I mean, amazing. Like, for me, it's a compliment.
Tama.
But if someone says copying, I don't necessarily. I mean, you're influenced by so many things.
Yes.
And also the way I am, the way I talk, the way, I mean, you've known me for a while. This is how I am and how I talk, and this is what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Right. So you're never gonna see me doing a food crawl where I'm just happy-go-lucky and just making jokes. It's not my thing. Right? Yeah. I'm not like that. I need to kind of scratch at the surface a little more.
Tama. So, meron bang isang bagay na hindi nakarating sa documentary mo na feeling mo masyadong hindi siya advertiser friendly, pero gusto mo sanang ikwento pero baka ma-flag ka ni YouTube or something? Meron ba isang bagay na tinanggal ka? Something juicy, something na hindi mo pwede ipakita pero nangyari sa isang shoot nyo?
I mean, we see a lot of gruesome thing, like whole animal butchery,
That's
slaughtering,
fine.
and everything, which is fine. We've covered a few times. There are some subjects before that we would stay away from,
Like?
child. Like when we were doing our Shargao series, we actually didn't put this in because I wasn't really comfortable with it. But I think now, 2 years down the line, I'm comfortable with it. Before, there was this idea to protect the image of what the Philippines is and our culture, and to always try to shine a positive light on it. But now, the way I look at it, I think that's a disservice to Filipino people to not see the reality of things. And so I think now we're a bit more accepting in kind of showing those things, of speaking out politically and kind of like all those things. But before, we would not do it.
Okay.
So one of those is Siargao. Like, everyone loves Siargao, right? But what a lot of people didn't know, when Siargao was first kind of like visited by white people and surfers. Before the surfers, there were actually other foreigners on the island, and they were not there for
The
surfing.
waters, yeah.
Yeah, they were there for child and organ harvesting.
Way.
And we've looked into it, and this is a long time ago. I mean, and again, no one's gonna go on record black and white and put this on paper, right? But we've gone to different places in the Philippines. It's not the first time we hear that, right? So we hear a lot of those kinds of stories. We hear a lot of stories about prostitution, things like that. And before, we would stay away from it. Now, I'm not gonna say we're gonna dive head into it, but if the opportunity is there to shine a line on it and create impact somehow, then we would do it.
Awareness. Probably.
Awareness and change, right? And create change for people.
And tama ka, no? I think kung hindi mo ikukwento yung bagay na yon, how will it change? Hindi, di ba? I mean, Hindi naman sa nagpapakabayani tayo.
Yeah.
It's not about it. Pero siguro, it's about you being authentic sa pagkukwento ng storya. You as a person na hindi kailangang, magsinungaling, magtago ng bagay, maganda man yan o pangit.
Correct.
Diba?
And I
Okay.
think it also helps to, and it's the same thing with our food, right? It's understanding that we have to stop romanticizing what the everyone you ask anyone, why do you love coming to the Philippines? Oh, because the people are so nice, right? You drive an EDSA and you realize, oh, maybe we're not so nice. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, let's stop
Yeah.
hiding behind these things where it's kind of just like saving face. It's Asian culture. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
offend anyone.
Tama.
Because that is pervasive to everything else, right? Like corruption's happening because we're okay with it. And so the more you kind of subjugate yourself to erasing, your capability of saying, hey, this is not right, then the more these problems will keep happening. So I think it's important, and like when we do our videos now, it's like, let's show people what real life is like for a lot of Filipinos in the province.
Tama. Okay, ngayon, bago tayo magtapos, no? Gusto ko lang, kasi sabi ko nga kanina, ang opening ko sa'yo is luluhod sa'yo lahat ng food content creator. No, ang dalawang pinakamadaling gawing content ng isang taong gusto mag-double into content creation is, una, I'm guessing lifestyle. Pangalawa ay food, kasi everybody eats. Sa mga bagong content creator, ano yung bagay na pwede mong ibigay na tip sa kanila na feeling mo something na hindi pa nila naririnig? Kasi ang daling sabihin na be consistent, be ganyan. Pero someone kasi with your tenure dito sa industriya to, marami nang alam yan, marami nang nakitang changes yan. 'Di ba? So, baka pwede natin silang bigyan ng konting wisdom.
I think number one, I always tell people is don't do it as a job. Do it as a hobby first. It has to start like parang you're not earning from it. You need to invest either time or money into it before you can actually generate any income from it. So I think number one, that's the most important. Two, you need to be okay doing things for free. If you look at all my old videos, especially if eventually you want this to become a job, I would never remove the brand from my stuff. So I'll be like, oh, if a brand was watching this, I can use the soy sauce like that or like whatever, right? So I'd always keep the brand, and I always tell people, just do things for free. It's like, PR for yourself.
Tama.
And I think what's the most important thing is eventually there needs to be a larger reason for you to be doing it. This is what you were saying in the beginning. It's like not everyone can do what Feature is doing, which Feature scale maybe, but in terms of what Feature is trying to do, I think everyone can do it. I think making the decision to not use, super processed cane vinegar in your cooking videos and using instead sukang bongbong from Bulacan, that creates a change, right? And I think anyone who's in food content right now, there is a larger cause or purpose, and that is that you can create change in people's lives and our farmers and stuff like that by using their products, by seeking out their products. And what's important there is if you're chasing fame and virality and money, at one point that's going to become very toxic for you. So, but helping someone, regardless of who you are, helping someone will always make you feel good. And it's selfish, 100% selfish. I can guarantee you today, you walk out on the street, you give someone 5,000 pesos, you see how happy they are. Are you doing it for them or are you doing it for yourself? Because it makes you feel good, right?
Meron talagang selfishness sa sa act of being selfless eh.
Correct. And understanding that is super important.
Tama.
And that's why I always tell people doing something good will always make you feel good. And for you to keep being motivated about the work that you're doing, especially if you're not earning a lot of money, it needs to make you feel good.
What's next for Feature?
Oh, that's a tricky question, and it's a question I think everyone needs to learn how to answer, in a sense that you can be happy where you are. I think what we've accomplished and what we're doing is great already, and so hopefully we just keep doing more of that. So just solidifying ourselves. Things move really fast nowadays, but we could be doing this for another 10 years, right, without having to have any bigger goals. But being who we are, we do want larger goals, and we eventually would love to produce a long-form documentary series about Filipino food that could be streamed, internationally on international platforms. I think that's one of our bigger goals. I've talked to you about cookbooks before also. Just getting something in print would be really great also.
Okay. Nakikita ko kasi yung content nyo eh. Technically, yung format nyo ngayon, only content yan eh. Alam mo, ang daming pwede content yan as in.
We can do any subject now. Yeah.
Kasi it's not about you eh. It's about the story that you're telling.
Correct.
Whether it be particular person, a particular dish, place, a
There's
tribe.
a
Only content talaga yung bagay na yan. Siguro, incremental changes na lalo sa storytelling, yung mga ganyan.
Correct.
Siyempre, we have to go with the times, di ba? Parang ganyan. Nakikita kita as a person na, una sa lahat, may grit, may perseverance, maraming sinubukang bagay, and malinaw sa'yo kung saan ka magaling. Malinaw sa'yo kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. That's not to say na hindi ka nagkamali sa maraming bagay.
Correct.
Meron ka bang mga bagay na pinagsisihan dito sa journey mo?
I mean, I definitely think when we took on the restaurants, it was too much. And the mistake I did there is having the ego and bravado, thinking I could handle
6.
all these things at the same time. At one point, it was 10 altogether. And it's like having that ego to think you could make that work. That was something that I did wrong. But in retrospect, it'll never feel wrong because it also character development,
Exactly.
maybe who I am today, right?
Exactly.
So, but yes, there's been a lot of things that I've done wrong. And I think one of the most important things that I've learned is to fully trust. Well, one, hire the right team. And then once the right team is hired, fully trust that team. And I think that's what we have now in Feature, the Fat Inside, but also like Chingolo and Cariton and all these concepts that we have is having the right people who can run the show and who believe in the mission as much as you do, right? I would be nothing without all the people in the Fat, like Mon, Julius, all the people in the Fat Kid Inside Studios and Feature. I'm nothing. I'm maybe the person that steers the ship, but the ship doesn't go anywhere without them, right?
Yung sinasabi ko dati, ang Ninong Ry ay hindi ako lang, ang Ninong Ry ay team.
Correct.
Hindi mag-work to. Dahil dyan, baka bigyan ko na kayo ng sahod next year.
Yeah! Congrats guys.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Bago tayo magtapos, meron lang kaming gustong ibigay sa'yo para sa oras mo. Yan. Okay. So ito, alam mo na to eh,
Yeah.
ay isa na namang sandata. Siyempre galing sa mga kaibigan natin mula National Blade Works. Ito na. Pero, siyempre, para maalala mo tong araw na to. Diba? Oh, yan.
And this is my favorite knife shape.
Actually, ako rin.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi ko na kailangan ng bench scraper.
Correct.
Gaganon mo na lang
You can
siya.
use it as a cleaver too.
Yeah, ang ganda na ito, di ba? Pero, sabi nga nila, hindi ka daw Pilipino. So baka hindi mo na, ay, uy! Agad-agad! Teka lang, sabihin mo muna sa mundo. Ninong Ry, binibili ko ang kutsilyong ito sa halagang piso.
Ninong Ry, binibili ko itong ₱1.
Kaya mo yan?
Itong kutsilyo sa ₱1.
Yan! Anong hindi Pilipino, pare? Nakita ko na. Pilipino yan. Di ba? Pero yun nga, sir, maraming salamat
Thank
sa'yo.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Thank
taking
you.
time. Alam ko
Of course.
sobrang busy mo.
Of course.
And sana maulit to, one way or another. Open naman ako lagi, magkausap naman tayo. Kapag meron kang gimmick dyan, message mo lang ako. Oh, sir, promote mo na. Baka meron kang concert.
No, just keep on checking Feature Media, guys. There's some really cool stories. Like Ninong Ry said in the beginning, sometimes they can be intimidating, but at the heart of it, it's really Filipino stories, Filipino food, and Filipino culture, and I'm sure everyone will appreciate it.
Meron kang matututunan, for sure, kapag nanood ka
Correct.
sa kanila. Merong value na idadagdag sa buhay mo. Hindi lang dahil yung suwabing boses ni Erwan ang nagnanarrate o yung gwapong mukha niya yung nakikita mo. Hindi. Meron ka talagang maidadagdag sa buhay mo. Promise yan. Pagkatapos itong video na to, punta ka dun sa channel nila, panoorin mo agad kung ano yung nandun na hindi mo pa napapanood, and sure, may matututunan ka. Again, maraming salamat,
Thank you.
di ba?
Thank
Ngayon, kailangan kong patunayan kung Pilipino ka talaga.
Okay.
Punta tayo sa banya.
You want me to drop my... Yeah.
Dito na lang.
Yeah, drop it.
Ay!